friends, saints and ain'ts. It's just good to see you today. Amen. Your pastor could have gotten anybody to come today. I'm just honored and privileged that he asked me to come to share with y'all on this gracious occasion. 117 years. And even though they did good at the first part of the 117 years, y'all doing great on the second one. It's all right. Y'all have accomplished some great accomplishments. There's a whole lot of preachers who would love to trade spots with your pastor. Yeah, they would. Matter of fact, someone would lie on him just to get the spot. Yes, they would. We don't have a whole lot of friends. We really don't. And I cherish the relationship I have between your pastors, lovely, but I don't talk to him every day. Y'all do that. I don't call him every week. Y'all do that. I don't call him every month. Y'all do that. But when I need him, he responds to me the way he responds to y'all every day. He comes to my aid. I'm just excited. Yes. Yes. 24 years. I've probably known you about 23. I think somewhere around there he was just coming, and we met each other around the corner. And it's been a good relationship since. I need, now and then I get myself. And you see my wife, she was so squirting down in the seat. Oh Lord, what are you going to do now? I want to challenge, and this is a great day. This is a great day. It's an exciting day. The pressure has been on him to put the pressure on y'all that this thing comes off the way y'all want it to do, because it doesn't come off the way y'all want it to come off. Y'all blame it. All right. Okay. I'm going to talk to the ministerial staff along with the church. I need to challenge y'all. A few weeks ago, me and my wife retired as pastor of a church. If I had all of my head that he got in his head, I might be still pastor. I thank God for what he's done for me for the past 32 years. And I'm excited what's yet to come out of him. But I need y'all to do something for me. I learned in my later years that I needed to get away from my foot. They don't, no harm to y'all, because everybody comes at a different time. We don't get much time to really breathe. We don't get much time to celebrate what God's given us. Matter of fact, my wife said to me probably about 6 years ago, she said, "Do you think it's time?" And I said, "No, God ain't said that." And I didn't realize until God said it's time that I got excited, because she's been taking care of me daily, over and above what's required of a woman for the past 17 years. And God's been so kind to give me her that I think I owe her some stuff that y'all wouldn't let me, not y'all, the church wouldn't let me give her while I stayed where I was at. And I was a little confused, because when God said that I could retire, I got excited about retirement. The question was, what was I going to do next? And you know, as soon as we say retire, you all think that means stop preaching. If you've been called to preach, the Brazilians won't come out of you. But I got a phone call that asked me 5 years ago to partake in a new fellowship that got started for dealing with young preachers. Those that think they know it all, and nobody can tell them nothing, that they don't have to answer to nobody, they can do whatever they want to do, how they want to do it, when they want to do it, and be tearing up the church. So I've been surrounded with men like him for the past 5 years. Now, and I wonder, they put me over the pastors. We have 126 churches in 5 years. And they put me over the pastors. And I wonder, why would you want me over the pastors? And I was sitting there in my mind and I was thinking about things. I said, I wonder why. I probably made more mistakes than the rest of them. And it needed someone to show them that you still can survive. Even when you made some mistakes. Amen. Amen. I moved to church on my second move across the street. And I thought the county loved me as much as I loved them. Especially since I didn't have to pay taxes. But when I moved across the street, I lost my privileges. I'm not paying taxes. And nobody said anything. And I was too smart, too intelligent to ask anybody. And I get a letter in the mail that says I owe you $8,000 for last year's taxes. And I thought I would die. Said some other things I ain't allowed to say, but yes I did. Still in me. Every now and then somebody try to make it. Yeah, they do. So I've been challenged and I've been excited. I just returned home on yesterday, and to show you how good God is. My doctor told me I can't drive that far in a car. We're going to come so high. It was 8.5 hours. They said because of me it's 10 hours. There's a few extra stops they're going to make. So my doctor said I got to fly. So I flew southwest. I drove down to BWI, thought it was close to your house. Got on the plane, flew up there, everything was nice. Came to the airport yesterday, got there about 10:30, and they told me my flight had been canceled. I said, excuse me? He says, your flight has been canceled. I said, no, wait a minute, I didn't check that at the hotel. I ain't got no more money. The last offering they took Friday night took everything I had. And they said, well, there's a 6 o'clock flight. I said, what am I supposed to do from 10:30 to 6 o'clock? Well, one of the other preachers went in, that was with me, went in and talked. And he came back and he says, guess what? I said, what? He said, they got us on a 2:40 flight. I said, I can do that. I only have to wait till 2:40 to get on the plane. And when I opened up the ticket, they had some vouchers in there. Now, the vouchers they gave me and my wife were more than I paid for our tickets to go up and down. So y'all missed it. Y'all missed it. See, one of the biggest problems we're having in the churches is God is doing so much for us, even on the little ends, that we don't celebrate. We want a major heart attack, change, and turn around, and God said, every day you get up, I'm blessing you. I recognize my wife has when we were at the conference. Conference was Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Thank you so much. But I had to go in Monday, Tuesday for some important meetings, and so I spent Monday and Tuesday in meetings where she was left at the hotel, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in classes. And I got sick on Thursday. So she just took me and took me back and put me in the bed, so I get myself together for Thursday night. She's been so kind of taking care of me. I'm so appreciative. You can tell me when I get home. my sewer line was clogged. Don't look at me like that, y'all. See, y'all think we don't have the same problems that y'all have. The difference between y'all and us is they see preacher, pastor, and they add $200 to the bill. And so I was up most of the night, early this morning, trying to resolve this issue. And one of my deacons called and they said, Bishop, now I can go over your house now, or I can try to get over there later. Now, I learned to listen. I can go now, or I can try later. Because y'all let a whole lot of stuff come in and interfere with what you need to do for the church and the man of God when it's not convenient to you. I'm so glad the Eagles ain't playing today. Y'all should be in church all day long, celebrating. But anyway, let me look. Thank you, friend. I appreciate you, and you did such a marvelous job on the anniversary. Yes, you did. I said all that trying to get y'all to loosen up and be more comfortable. I'm taking my wife on a trip to Jamaica. Yes, I am. It's not going to be expensive. And I want your pastor and his wife to go with us. Now, I'm going to keep smiling. Keep smiling. Because I want y'all to pay for it. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. He's been here 24 years. And I know, I don't care what you pay him, it ain't enough. I'm going to tell you, it ain't enough. And let me share with you, every now and then, y'all need to do something special for your man and woman of God. Let me tell you why. Because I've discovered that God has a sack that's set aside from all the other sacks. That there's your normal things that God gives you. But God holds a sack on, matter of fact, the evidence of the sack he holds on the side is in the proof of this building in 117 years later. And you're still here. He does special things when people do special things for the special people he sent to a place that they really didn't want to go to. It's hard dealing with us, because I have a new pastor now, Pastor Robert Corsi. I tell him that I'm a member of the Shiloh Baptist Church. I sit in the pews, and I look at him the way they used to look at me. But me and Pastor, we know how to treat a pastor. We know how to take care of the man and woman of God. And we're his number one and number two greatest fans. So what I want to share with you, and I want to get some information to you soon. I just started putting them together yesterday. Someone said yesterday. We can fly into Jamaica and go to the Grand Palladium Resort. Now, this resort is a resort that you don't have to leave. And everything's included in the package. We went, and I've been there, that's why I'm going back. When you find something good, you go back. 7 top shelf restaurants. From lobster, I got stuck in the steak restaurant. I don't eat a lot of stuff that other people eat, and I'm a steak man, so they look at me and they say, "Oh, you're back again." I said, "Yes, sir, I'm back again." I'd leave the restaurant and go to another restaurant and have dessert. And the people were so kind that you didn't tip them. Now, what we did was before we left, to the ones that were really nice, we give them a little something on the side and tell them that you can't refuse this because your service was so good. Just because you don't have to tip them doesn't mean that you don't tip. I mean, they were getting me stuff. I almost swore they ran out back and killed this chicken and brought him in. And what I'm trying to say is, I want a package. I want to put together a package for your pastor. And I'm probably only talking about $2,500. Somebody say $2,500. Now, individually, you can say that's a lot of money. Collectively, that's chump change. Y'all spend more than that on your cable bill. So I want to take him to a place that I was taken to by another pastor, to share in and just relax. It's like 4 nights, 5 days, and if you will, if the preachers. Now I'm going to tell you how we did this. The preachers got together and got groups of 10, and each group of 10 was responsible for X numbers of dollars, however you wanted to do it. And then by the time you got your passport ready? Passport ready? I knew you did. In a hurry. In a hurry. I say how crazy it is. I'm almost out of my time. I can't stand it so long. Look at that. Listen. How crazy it is. I went there after having a stroke. And I was trying to prove to my wife I was still all man. I was, had these big suitcases walking through the airport. And the lady came up, she said, well, listen, why don't you let me get you a chair? And the line was down around and all this. And I said, no, I'm all right. And she seen me struggling. She came up again and she said, well, why don't you let me get you a chair? I said, what's it going to cost me? She said, it doesn't cost you anything. You can bless me, but it doesn't cost you anything. I said, we provide this by the airline, but if you just get in the chair, I can help you. So I said, okay, I got in the chair. I went from 150 person down to 3. She went around past all those people, took me right on through, waved my flag, took me on in. I said, wow, I've been doing that ever since. A man said yesterday, what number are you? I'm 30. Preacher with me, y'all know Pastor Devin because he's crazy. He says, I prefer it. That means we don't get in line. They just put us right on the plane, pick your seat. We were laughing because people was feeling that we were so close up front that by the time they got on the plane, that the seat that we had empty belonged to somebody. And so we were waiting to see who was going to get in the seat. And then one lady sat down and she said, is there any reason nobody's sitting here? No, we're just trying to figure out who's going to be the winner. Yeah, she said, I can be the first one. I can be the first one off the plane with right up front. Anyway, let me go on. Listen. Let me hurry so I can get out of here. A man was reading his paper early one morning. I know I see them up here somewhere. At the breakfast table, his wife came over to him. Cain gave him a hug, smiled, and said, I bet you don't know what day this is, do you? He looked at her and said, of course I know what day it is, and went back to reading his paper. The reality was that he didn't have a clue. He was afraid that he would make his wife upset. She was really sensitive about special occasions. He thought to himself, is it her birthday? That must be it. So after he got he called the florist and had a banquet of white roses sent to his wife. Then as the day went on, he began worrying that flowers may not be enough for such an important day. What if it's our anniversary? So he went to the jewelry store down from his office, picked out a beautiful gold necklace, and had it specially delivered to his wife. As he started home from work, he decided that maybe he should also stop by an expensive box of chocolates to bring to her, just in case. He pulls into the driveway, and his wife runs out to greet him. As he gets out of the car and presents her with the box of chocolate, she throws her arms around him and says, "Oh, honey, this is the best Groundhog Day I've ever had." I stopped by to say that today is a special day for the church. If you haven't figured it out yet, today celebrate 117 years of God's faithfulness to us